Me to look at a different story that has been unfolding over the last couple of weeks. And we do know that Oparanya was supposed to appear before the Senate Public Accounts and Investment Committee. We expected him there today in the morning. We understand that he failed to show up. And as we speak, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Keriako Tobiko, is currently giving that committee options on what to do with Oparanya now that he has, quote-unquote, refused to appear before that committee. Let's listen in.
Deliberated on these matters, we have not included IEBC. And I don't know whether the CJ is representing the Chief Justice, because we really needed the cooperation of the judiciary to be able to unlock this problem, because it is a precedent that has been set and will be very dangerous even as we go to elections. But on the issue of IEBC, and this is to the legal officer, in the IEBC Act, Section 4J, in the development and enforcement of the code of conduct, because we must get a way of dealing with it somehow. And if we cannot get it through the process that is already being undertaken, then we must think of other ways of skinning the cat. And my thinking is that the code of conduct, if it is properly implemented by IEBC, we should be able to teach a lesson to characters like Governor Oparanya, really, who have defied the Constitution, ran away from accountability. In fact, when you look at the audit reports of Kakamega, you really feel ashamed that we have not been able to get answers for these queries. In fact, in one of the trade ministry, and I know you have looked members at these audit reports, a whopping almost 214 million is not explained. If you do that in 25 audit queries of 2013-2014, if you do that with 2014-2015, we are talking millions of money. So I would like to hear from the IEBC representative that are we able to enforce this so that we can bar someone from actually being cleared by IEBC if you're running away from accountability, because it's really not a choice, it's a constitutional obligation.
Yes, Senator Matangi.
Yes, Chair, thank you. I want to first also thank the entire team that have come this morning upon the invitation of the committee. And Chair, just to follow up and also echo not only the words that have been said by the DPP, but also by the Chair here. But in saying so, also ensure that we are also loud enough to say that the Constitution is not ambiguous about how we should proceed with issues, with matters of failure or non-compliance with Chapter 6 of the Constitution. And because the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. And Chair, this committee, in the presence of all the stakeholders in this meeting, needs to proceed alongside the lines where we should be seeking to make a determination on the matter. Because, Chair, as they say, to the Mwananchi, just like to anyone else, justice delayed is justice denied. And the people of Kakamega have sought to have justice on the question of the accountability of the monies which have been given to the governor of Kakamega for the last 4.5 years, Chair. And it is important to put on record that as of this date, not less than 30 billion Kenya shillings have been sent to the county government of Kakamega under the guidance and under the authority of the current governor. And Chair, with the provisions of the Constitution, I feel and firmly believe that this meeting should be taking a direction towards asking all the stakeholders who are here, and more so the IABC themselves. Now that we know the provisions of Chapter 6, now that we know the implications of the law and all the acts from the Public Finance Management Act to the County Government Act, Mr. Chairman, what we should be saying to the IEBC at the end of this meeting, in light of what has been said and also affirmed by the Director of Public Prosecutions, is the IEBC going to be receiving and accepting papers that would be proffered or given by one such as the governor for Kakamega to be deemed to be papers that can be used to clear a candidate to run for office of governor in a county on the basis that that person complies with the constitutional requirements of this country? That should be the question. And in spite of all the tricks and games, Chair, that have been played for those last years, Mr. Chair, all these institutions cannot fail to come up with a solution. And more so, IBC, in my view, cannot also sit or hide behind the curtain that they will be still waiting for another determination other than what is known in law, that for one to have complied with the law, Mr. Chairman, then they must have been, first of all, accountable and seen and known to be accountable, Mr. Chair. So the question that we will pose to IBC, and I would want personally to pose to IBC, is, will the name of the governor, current governor of Kakamega, be on the ballot paper of the Kakamega governor if he continues and has continued to defy, just on the pretext that he will be a clean man to run as for a second term?
Yes.
My understanding is that all the institutions represented here this morning have received a brief from the Senate on why they were invited here. So I want to request, as a matter of procedure, that just in the same manner as the DPP has put his word on Hansard, we also allow the other institutions to do so before then we seek to clarify or urge them to move in a particular direction. I beg you.
We are coming in that direction. Let's hear from Senator Nyong'o first.
Let me just underscore what Senator Alwale said. I think the DPP made a very, very good point. He lamented that this committee seems to be impotent. That's a very serious word, you know, especially when the king is next to me, and the king is supposed to be the most important man in the world. You know, that's it, by the way. I think the DPP made a very important point that for him as an office, he's waiting for the court case on the 21st, after which he can then make conclusive statements about it, because he cannot, since he's in the process of in which that case is being determined by the, but as Alwale says, Senator Alwale says, we need to hear the positions of our constitutional officers. Remember my remarks regarding Article 96, that unless institutions of governance play their role regarding